What if I told you the way it has always been done is not the best way? Facing your fears will change your life. The passion behind this journey is merging two separate worlds into one with the goal of creating value and awareness for a better life.
I'd rather be sidelined trying to achieve greatness than watch greatness achieved and it only set on the sideline. Now introducing your host, Jacob Emery.
This episode is brought to you by R&R Pipeline, an infrastructure company. Our purpose? Enhancing America's infrastructure with a safety-driven, integrity-led culture that provides an environment for team members to grow and thrive. Do you have a life motto? So, persistent patience has been my life motto for about 3 to 4 years. And the main reason for that is because it used to just be persistent. I used to only be persistent and never able to have patience, wait on the outcome. And I would force outcomes, make bad decisions, multiple errors, because I was just so focused on getting it done. What I realized after getting a little bit older is that you can force a timeline and have the outcome that you desire not ever be achieved. You have to let things progress the way that they're supposed to. There are times where you cannot do any more, push any harder without making the perceived thing fall apart, because what you're actually trying to do is not yet ready to be finalized. Persistent patience. Persistent in my pursuit. I am a relentless dog. Work my ass off to get the things that I want out of life. So I'm persistent in the accomplishment of achieving goals, becoming a better person, but understanding now the timeline is only important to me and things will happen according to the way they were supposed to happen. I can force that timeline and it will, in fact, probably backfire. So patience isn't not doing anything. It is moving your course of action to something different while whatever needs to happen on the other thing takes place. So you might be waiting on a deadline or a timeline or an external circumstance to come to fruition. And in that time, you just navigate differently and do something different. So hearing this can be counterintuitive, where it doesn't quite make sense. Persistent patience, they kind of go against each other. But the reality is you're staying persistent with your pursuit, patient with the outcome. It is the ability to have intense focus over long periods of time without forcing an outcome or trying to force an outcome. So knowing this though, what does persistence and patience mean by definition? Persistent is persisting, especially in spite of opposition, obstacles, or discouragement. So there isn't anything that's going to get you down, but you're consistently going to be persistent or relentless. Patience, the quality of being patient as the bearing of annoyance, misfortune, or pain without complaint, loss of temper. Basically, you're enduring all this shit while staying patient. Persistent in the pursuit, but the timeline is being patient. Because of that ability to be patient in the timeline, things work out much easier the way they should. A prime example, we were supposed to close on R&R Pipeline purchase December 31st. It ends up going to the end of May before we were able to close. That first quarter of the year was hell, and we would have had a lot of issues had we closed on that business the first of 2019, December 31st. Had we closed December 31st as originally planned, we would have been in some serious financial restraint, even worse than we were had we done it January 1. But because of that extended time period, we hit the ground running throughout the year, and right when we closed, we had hit full stride and efficiency for the year, which let us propel ourselves into going into the end of the year very strong with a cash balance. Ever since that moment, I just realized I have to let things happen the way they're supposed to. Can't always see the forest through the trees, and there's so many times that I wanted to force something, make the timeline happen yesterday. I'm not going to go from benching 250 to 400 overnight though. I have to be persistent in putting in the effort, but knowing that the timeline is going to take a longer extended period of time than I probably planned on. persistent patience, my life motto. What's your life motto?